Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's stream. Today I'll be looking at SPX, my targets to the upside, to the downside, where I see it going, along with some key names such as ROKU, which has earnings, along with TLRY, also reporting on Wednesday, Tesla, NVDA, AMD, SQ, BILI, DOCU, OSTK, PIN, SNAP, CHWY, and MRNA. These are some key names I'm going to be looking at for specific reasons. But before we get started, please guys, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. And also, if you're interested in our trading group, go over to thewealthymentor.net. Check out our Discord channel. We offer daily trading insight along with watch lists. We also provide options trading, entries and exits, along with daily market analysis. And we also provide support 24/7. So if you're into day trading, options trading, be sure to check that out. Again, go to thewealthymentor.net to check us out. Okay. As you can see here, we do have SPX open. We did have a great week, pushing all the way from 3,800, as you can see here, all the way to a bullish close on Friday, which was at 39.37, which is at all-time highs. I'm just going to quickly switch over to the futures chart. As you guys know, today is a holiday, so the markets are closed. But as you guys can see here, we are pushing higher on futures at currently 39.52. So we are going to be opening up on a gap up heading into Tuesday if everything's okay. You know, albeit if there's terrible news out there, obviously futures will drop. But by the looks of it, it looks like we are going to be heading higher. So I'm going to switch over back to the SPX chart to give you my targets of where I see it going and where I see us taking profits. Okay, so if we do open at that 39.50, which is current resistance, above that, I am looking at 39.80 and the 4,000 mark for potential profit areas. 4,000 is a big number, psychological number. So I would be surprised to see if we do break that. So expect to take profits around that area and around 39.80 if we do end up breaking 39.50. At the moment, it looks like it's a pretty strong move. Keep in mind, guys, when we do have holidays like this or long weekends, stocks do gap up and they do sell back down to fill that gap where we left off in the previous trading day, which was Friday. So there's going to be a lot of profit taking early on if we do gap up. It is also a bullish market, so 4,000 is very likely. If we do drop below the gap right here that we left on Friday, which was at 39.37, I'm looking at areas of 39.20 for short-term support. If that is broken, 3,900 is key. It has held here. This is on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see here. It held on the 8th of February, the 10th, right, and the 11th. So 3,900 is a key level for me. If that is breached, I'm looking at 38.80. Big wick right here. Buyer stepped in, did not allow us to hit that 38.80. So that is my next level of support. And if we really do sell off, I'm looking at 38.65 and 38.50. Okay, so that is SPX on the 4-hour time frame for my targets to the upside and to the downside heading into next week. Keep in mind, today is a holiday, so the markets are closed today. Okay, the first name I would like to get into, which is reporting earnings on Thursday, is ROKU. ROKU is the ticker. As you guys can see here on the 4-hour time frame, we are extremely bullish on ROKU, hitting all-time highs at 485. We are in this little small channel from 480 to 465. So going into next week and into earnings, I am looking at a push above the 480 mark for potential first take profits at 485, right? If you are a more conservative trader, I would look for that 485 mark to break. If that does break, I'm looking at targets, which I'm going to draw here at 490, right? And 500. 500 psychological number. So if I'm heading into Tuesday, my first confirmation would be the break of 480. My second confirmation would be the break of 485, which is also all-time highs for potential take profits at 490 and 500. Okay. To the downside, I am looking at that 464, 460 mark to break. If that does break, I'm looking at support at 450. It was resistance back here on the 8th of February. We also did wick down here on the 4-hour time frame, and buyers stepped in at that 450 mark. So if we do see weakness, I am looking at that 450 mark as potential short from the 460 mark. Okay. 450, I am also looking at 445 and 440 as other levels of support on Roku. Again, this is on the 4-hour time frame, so there is a lot of data here. Um, like I said, if you are a conservative trader, look for that 485 mark to break. Okay, so that is Roku reporting earnings coming up this Thursday. Another name that's reporting earnings on Wednesday, TLRY, TLRY. Big move by TLRY last week, along with all the rest of the marijuana sector. As you guys can see here, a big short squeeze up to the $77 mark. And we did have monster selling volume here the next few days, dropping as much as 50%. I believe it was on the 11th of February right here. Big volume here confirming that this is a sell-off, and we do see ourselves back at that $29 resistance. We are in a small little channel from the $33.75 to $29. This is one of the trading names that we do have on our swing trading watch lists. So if you are interested in that, definitely check out our Discord channel. We offer these. We offer marijuana sector watch list, airline sector watch list, low cap sector watch list, and we also have our daily watch list. And these are updated every single day, along with weekly names on the swing tradings. So keep in mind, I am looking at that $33, $34 mark to break for potential retest at that $44 and $49 targets. If we do break that $29 mark, I am looking at potential shorts down to the $23 mark. As you guys can see here, we did have consolidation back on the 2nd of February all the way to the 8th of February before us breaking out. And this was a major breakout here, guys. As you guys can see here, volume here is increasing 1, 2, 3 times, right? And we finally broke down um, on the 11th of February. And basically, whatever goes up must come down. And that's how these names are, especially the ones that have insane amounts of shorts, um, pushing the stock down. Here is the weekly chart, just to give you guys an example of where Tesla is in the grand scheme of things. We did have a $300 target here when it first came out, back on 2018, September. Many of us, including me, was looking at a short squeeze to 300. That's not to say it can't happen. However, as you guys can see here, these type of candles represent buyer rejection. Okay, sellers push back down right here, big long wick. This is bearish. However, that's not to say we might not receive another candle going to $44 and $50 before ultimately going down on the weekly time frame. Okay, earnings does have the potential to push the stock up. That's why I'm looking at it right now. However, I am looking at that $34 mark to break to confirm an entry on TLRY. Okay, TLRY reporting earnings on Wednesday. Another name that I'm going to be looking at that did really well and is at all-time highs is NVDA. NVDA, along with the semiconductors, did really well last week due to shortage in chipsets, I believe. along those lines. So we did hit all-time highs at 613. We did have a pullback, and we did close Friday's session just below the $600 resistance. Going into next week, tomorrow, I am looking at that $600 mark to break for potential take profits at 610, and the next potential take profit is at 620. If you are a more conservative trader, I would look for entries above the 610 mark for potential take profits at 620. I am going to draw another level of take profit if we do break 620, and that would be 630, right? And another one that's very bullish at 640. Okay, so those are my targets to the upside on NVIDIA. I'm also looking at the downside, a break of 590 for potential short to 578. If that was to break, I'm looking at 565 and 560 as potential support areas. As you guys can see here, it was the breakout zone right above 560. If you guys remember from my previous streams, I did mention that NVIDIA was in a tight range. Well, last week we did break over that tight range. So if we do see a pullback, look for a retest of that 560, 565 mark. Right here was a breakout point. Right here, we couldn't break it. And right here, back on January the 11th of 2021, we couldn't break it. So look for a retest of that 560 mark before protruding higher, or look for a breakout above 600 to go to all-time highs again. Okay, so that is NVDA on the 4-hour time frame. Keep your eyes glued on the semiconductor sector. And with that being said, I am going to head over to AMD, which is also another semiconductor. AMD did not receive the treatment like NVIDIA did. It is still stuck into this channel. However, we did have a nice push from the $85 mark over to the $94.50 resistance. Going into tomorrow, I am looking at that 94.5, $95 mark to break for potential take profits at 96.50 and $98. We do have all-time highs at 100. If we do see a push in the semiconductor section, I would definitely look at AMD to follow suit um, with what NVIDIA did last week. So perhaps AMD would have its time in the sun, as I could say, heading into next week. So keep this name in mind. To the downside, if we cannot break 94.50 resistance, again, I am looking at that 92.5, $90 mark and the 88 mark for support. So keep your eyes on AMD heading into next week to see if there's a continuation in the semiconductor push. Okay, that is AMD. Another name that has pushed to all-time highs due to the Bitcoin correlation, it's Square. Here is Square on the 4-hour time frame. As you guys can see here, we did have a breakout above the 265 mark, going to all-time highs at that 274 area. So at the moment, 274 is a level of resistance for me heading in tomorrow. If 274 were to break, I am looking at 280 for potential take profits, 285, and 290 as overhead profit taking. Okay, conservative trader, definitely look over the 274, 275 mark to break for potential take profits at 280, 285. To the downside, we do have support at the 265 mark. We did have consolidation here at the 260, 255 mark. So if we do receive a pullback and break 265, which would be my first confirmation to short down to the 255, 250 mark. As you guys can see here, it has held here back on the 9th of February. We did wick down slightly down here before buyers stepped in. So this name is bullish at the moment, and we are all-time highs. If we do receive a pullback, look for those areas to see if people buy the dip for potential push to retest the 265 and 274 areas if we do receive a push down. Okay, so that is Square on the 4-hour time frame. bullish name. Look into it. Also look to see if Bitcoin is running up. Another name that is nearing all-time highs, it is BILI. This is another name on our daily watch list. BILI is all the way at uh, the 160 mark. We did close at 154 on Friday. So I am looking at that 154 and a half, 155 mark to break for a potential retest of all-time highs at 160. If 160 were to break, I'm looking at take profit targets at 165. And also my next take profit area would be the 170 mark. Be sure if you are a conservative trader and don't want to get caught up into this chop to enter above the 160 mark. Okay, to the downside, we do have major support here at the 135 mark. As you guys can see here, back on the 10th of February, it held once more here on the 10th, right? Again here on the 5th, and pretty much right here on the 3rd of February, which was the breakout area. So the 160 mark would be a level of interest for me just to enter to be more safe. And to the downside, I would look at that 130 mark, 135 mark for a level of support. So I guess you can draw a channel from 135 to 160. So unless we break one of those two numbers, I would stay patient on BILI. But definitely do have that name into your watch list because it is very bullish. Okay. The next name that is nearing all-time highs is DOCU, DOCU sign. Um, right here, we did have all-time highs at 293. We are in a critical area here uh, at that 265 mark. So I am looking at a push above the 265 mark for potential retests of all-time highs, right? So going into Monday, 265 is the key number, right? You can enter here, or you can enter at 272 for better confirmation. As you guys can see here, we have been stuck into this consolidation area from January the 13th. We couldn't break it here on the 13th. We couldn't break it on the 19th of January. And now we are trying once more. As you guys know, the more times you push up against resistance and try to hit it, it gets weaker and weaker. So this could be the, I guess you could say, third time's a charm. If we do break that, look for the second confirmation of 272 to break for an entry. If you are a conservative trader, if you are a scalper, such as myself, a day trader, options trader, look for that 265 mark for potential take profits at 272. Um, Another option would be to increase your position at 272 for a total take profit at 282, 283. To the downside, I am looking at that 255, 252 mark here. As you guys can see, as I mentioned here, a lot of price action over here, a lot of price action back in January. So that 255, 252, and 248 are areas of support for me. So that is DOCU on the 4-hour time frame, bullish name heading into tomorrow and to next week. Another name nearing all-time highs, which is on our swing trading watch list. It is OSTK Overstrike, right? We are here. Sorry, OSTK ticker. We do have all-time highs at that 128.50 mark. We did close out 107. Right? We did have a nice move up from the $64 mark before getting a pullback. Right, we did push to 94, getting a pullback to 74, and now we are in an area where we are looking at that 110 mark, 113 mark for an entry. So above 113, I am looking at that 118, 128 take profit area. Keep in mind, guys, this is one of those very volatile names. It can move 10, 20% in one day. So definitely look at that 113 mark to break for potential take profits at 118. If 118 to 120 does break, I would look to increase my position if you're a contracts. Options trader, increase your position at that 119 mark for a potential run up to the 128.50, which is the all-time highs. To the downside, I am looking at that 103 mark, right? 103.5 to hold. If that does not hold, I would look to enter shorts down to the $98 area. If selling does increase the pressure volume, right? Definitely look at always volume to confirm. If 98 does break, looking for the $92, $91 mark for the next potential support zone. Okay, so that is OSTK overstrike on the 4-hour time frame. Another name, all-time highs, pins, Pinterest, PINS is the ticker name. Pinterest had earnings, right? Kind of just hovered around the $87 mark to the $82 mark. We do have all-time highs at 89, closing at 84 on Friday. Definitely look for a retest of the 87.50 mark for an entry above that for a profit take of 90. If 90 does break, I'm looking at the second take profit of 95 and 100 as my next bullish target. To the downside, I am looking at the $80 mark to hold. We did have some nice consolidation here. Buyers stepped in, did not want to let the stock drop below that. So that $80 mark is a level of support for me. If $80 does break, I am looking at shorts down to 76, but I would be wary to enter shorts at $80 because we do have a bunch of support here, and the stock did drop as low as 77 before pulling back up. So if you are shorting this stock, I would definitely look below the $76 mark for potential scalp shorts to the $72, $73 mark. And we also have another strong support at 68. Okay, so keep in mind pins above 89, 90. Conservative traders definitely enter over the $90 mark for a potential run up to 95 and 100. Okay, that is Pinterest on the 4-hour time frame. Another name, Snap, right? Nearing all-time highs, which also did have earnings last week. I am looking at that $65 mark to break. We did have consolidation here, potentially creating a bull flag, right? Here's the pull, here's the flag, and we are looking for a breakout above the $65 mark. Keep your eyes on the volume, just like this one right here. See this big monster volume stick? Look for something like that when $65 mark breaks. So that way your move, your entry is confirmed by volume, not by just dead price action, which tends to just slosh around like this. So $65 area would be a level of interest for me. It is at all-time highs at that mark. Definitely take profits at $70. Psychological, $75 would be my next target. And again, to the downside, 60 is support. A break of 60, look for a retest of 54. I would enter shorts below 60. Definitely, again, look at market conditions and volume to enter shorts. Don't just go blindly in. Okay, so 60 and 54 are levels of support. That is Snap on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, another name at all-time highs is CHWY, CHWY. I'm bullish on CHWY. As you guys can see here, the trend is your friend, and nothing but great price action on CHWY. Ever since, I would say, the consolidation area back here on July 2020. We've been moving up ever since, and we are at all-time highs. So CHWY above 120 would be my entry for potential take profits at the 124, 128, 130 mark. If we do receive a pullback, look for that 115 mark to hold. We did have it as resistance back then. Old resistance is now support. So 115 would be an area for me to look at if we do receive a pullback. If 115 cannot hold, definitely look at that 110, 110, 108. As you guys can see here, we did have some price action here. Okay, so that is CHWY. Very bullish on CHWY heading into next week. Keep that name in mind, above 120. Another name with the vaccine news that could see a pop and is at all-time highs is MRNA, Moderna. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard about this name, right? We did have a big spike here at all-time highs, which was at that 218 mark. I am going to draw a level of resistance at that 218.50, right? Above 218.50, I am looking at 220. Actually, 225, right? 225 and 230 would be my bullish targets. The reason for that is this name does run up really hard, especially on news regarding vaccination, COVID news. So definitely look for this name. It is a momentum stock. Above the 190 mark would be a level of interest for me. We couldn't break it over here back on February the 8th, and we've been stuck into this little small channel. So this stock can either go either way. We could receive some bullish news this week regarding coronavirus vaccinations and distribution. So above the 190 mark would be a level of interest for me for potential take profits at 200 and 205. If it's really bullish, definitely look for all-time high retest at the 218 mark. If we do break support, I would look at support at 178. If that is broken, look for 170 to the 160 mark for next areas of support. Okay, that is Moderna. Keep in mind, guys, these are names that tend to run up 5, 10, 20% in a day just based on euphoria, hype, news, and they are very volatile. So anything that runs up that hard definitely receives a pullback as well. So keep that in mind. Again, guys, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends, and also don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Wealthy Mentor Trading. Our Wealthy Mentor Trading on Discord is great. Offer great services. We offer monthly packages, 6-month packages, and yearly packages. It's priced really well, and it gives you a lot for what you're paying for. Definitely go to thewealthymentor.net and check out our courses. Okay, that's all for today. It is a shortened week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days of trading. SPX is bullish, so keep that in mind. Definitely look over the charts that I just showed you today regarding all-time highs. Roku does have earnings on Thursday, along with TLRY on Wednesday. If you're looking at TLRY, make sure you're looking at the whole marijuana sector because one name correlates to the other. Okay, guys, that's it for this week's stream. Good luck, and see you guys next week. All right, bye.